what is distress tolerance in DBT?
Distress tolerance is the module from DBT that teaches us how to cope during the most difficult parts of life. So when we're facing intense pain, distress tolerance skills are often going to come in to help us tolerate that distress. So there's two different sets of distress tolerance skills. One of them is called reality acceptance. And these are skills for, I see your face. Yeah. It's a lot. It's very difficult. One of the things that makes it hard can be just even understanding what it means to accept reality. Yeah. So maybe to make it a little bit more concrete, the main skill in reality acceptance is a skill called radical acceptance. Radical in the sense of with your full body, mind, and soul, can you acknowledge reality for what it is? So a concrete skill to practice acceptance with your body, for example, is to practice another reality acceptance skill called willing hands, where you literally, for folks watching, they can see me right now. I'm placing my hands open on the table, palms up. And just this physical expression of openness can help some people. So often non-acceptance feels very tense and frustrated and very closed. And so the idea is, with my body, can I open instead? And that can just be one of the concrete steps. It's not going to be enough alone, to be clear, but it's one of the skills that can help with, okay, can I be here now in this moment exactly as it is, even when I hate it?
And that is a key point. Even though I hate it, it's sort of like forgiving isn't forgetting, it's remembering and letting go. Acceptance does not mean I like it.
Right.
We're in no way surrendering to this is just the way it is.
No. Right. Acceptance does not mean approval. Yes. That's a really big thing. And acceptance does not mean giving up. Those are the two things that come up often in when I teach this to clients. The way we normally put it is there is always going to be pain in life. When we don't accept pain, that turns it into suffering because I'm ruminating and worrying and judging and denying and suppressing and causing all of this turmoil and misery on top of pain. Meanwhile, pain plus acceptance is pain. Still not easy sometimes. Maybe ever, but much more tolerable than suffering.
So pain without acceptance is suffering. Pain with acceptance
is pain.
Is what it was to start.
Yeah.
But maybe a little less, maybe a little shifted.
Well, it depends who you ask. I think that for me personally, as I've practiced this more, it does inherently feel less. It's the exact same pain, but as soon as you feel capable of staying open and soft to it, and I know that must sound terrifying for people who don't have experience with this, but with practice, as you stay open to pain, it becomes less scary. It becomes much easier to feel. And that is often the goal with a lot of these skills, just being with what's here, including pain.
I am not equating this little example I'm going to give to life's pains because I'm not that naive, but the metaphor, and that's how my brain works. I'm thinking of when you are stuck in a traffic jam and you have to get somewhere important. And it's you're not going to get there. You're not going to move. You can see what's ahead. You can see the emergency vehicles, whatever. Your little GPS is showing just red all the way to where you're trying to go. And you can sit there and curse and honk and do all the things that make you feel awful inside. Or you can say, I'm not going to make it. Either way, you are literally in the same place. But one way, you are all wound up too.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to equate life's pains with being stuck in a traffic jam, but that's what was coming to mind. Is it that same kind of thing, just choosing to not oh, well, because we don't do that with real life pains.
Yeah.
But it's I am grieving because I lost someone or something. There's no way out of that. There's, other than through, but I can make it worse.
Yes. You just brought up two of the most common examples I give when teaching this. Traffic jam.
Oh, no way.
And death of a loved one.
Oh.
They're both things that are the way they are and are super painful, but in very different ways, obviously.
Yes.
And there is nothing to do about them. No matter how much we fight or ignore or deny or stew, we're in the traffic jam or we've lost this person. And so all of a sudden, acceptance allows us to be there and to be okay, even though there is pain or difficulty. And obviously, these two are very different.
Yes.
Grief is going to be very, very painful no matter how much you accept it.
Yes.
Traffic jam, may actually be okay. If you accept it and turn on your favorite podcast, all of a sudden it's a very different conversation that you're having with yourself, I guess, it just makes it so much more bearable. And okay, here I am, right? In traffic. Once again, here I am, my flight's delayed. It's raining and I didn't want it to be, right? No matter how much we fight or don't want to be in traffic or want our flight to be delayed or want it to be raining for whatever reason, it is. So how can we dance in the rain? How can we listen to music and have fun while we're in traffic, et cetera? And then with grief, because it's much more serious, right? We're not going to have fun necessarily, but maybe then we get to, if we're fully acknowledging what's real, we get to fully connect with our loved ones who are still here and talk about that person, to be there for one another, to connect, to support one another. And then we grow in intimacy, not only with the people who we still have, but even like with that person who's passed, because we're remembering them and fully appreciating the life that they had, rather than pretending like it didn't happen or stomping our feet about the truth and getting distracted from the beauty that was there. We're not able to enjoy that anymore, that memory, if we're like tense and denying. And yeah, it doesn't mean we're not despondent, but there's a different feeling. But then the second category of skills can often help even more with that like intense pain. Right now, I am upset. These skills are called the crisis survival skills. So when life throws something super stressful at us and we feel intense emotions, or we have urges to use substances or urges to engage in other impulsive behaviors, crisis survival skills give us something else to do. Often impulsive behaviors make things worse. Maybe they make us feel better in the short term, but then they cause us long-term problems. So these skills are meant to give us options for feeling better now, or at least not making things worse for ourselves without adding on to like more problems in the long term. They're coping skills, really.
I'm thinking of, I used to be a listener at a hotline, a crisis hotline, and when a caller would call, and by the end of the call, the goal was to have them in a different place, certainly a safer one. And we would ask what their plan was to get through the night safely. And I was very surprised how often it was, I'm going to take a bath, I'm going to watch cat videos. I would never have thought cat videos could be a suicide prevention
Huge,
tool,
yeah.
But it's a distraction that pleases you, you know, that in some way is feeding you. And you're not thinking about whatever horrible thing you were thinking about.
Right.
And is distraction one of those skills?
Yeah, it actually is.
Oh.
So there's a full acronym in DBT. Wise Mind accepts, ACCEPTS. That all stands for different types of things you can do to help yourself distract from difficult, painful moments. So the first one, A, for example, is activities. So these are very stereotypical distraction with like hobbies, like reading a book or watching cat videos that people can do to get their mind off of something and maybe even feel some pleasure, although that's not the goal. The goal with all distress tolerance skills is to just get through this moment, again, without acting impulsively in ways that would make things worse. One of my other favorites is the S for sensation. So the last one of accepts. This is often what folks call like grounding skills. So often, as we're talking about, emotions are so fueled by these like racing thoughts or spiraling worry and rumination. And a lot of times it can be so helpful just to come out of your head and into your body by using physical sensations. So even something like splashing cold water on your face, or eating something sour or stomping your feet on the ground, just doing anything that gets you into your body, out of your head, can be an incredibly useful distraction technique.
It doesn't sound like something that easy should be able to help in what you're calling like really painful moments.
So again, this is where we we offer to you lots and lots of skills to choose from. I would say sensations, is not often going to be the one that's going to get you through a moment completely, but it can come in and interrupt that thought cycle and like give you that second pause so that you can then choose to do another coping skill that like the activities, like the pleasant activities that might be a little bit more pleasant and maintaining and easier to do across the difficult moment.